Hello everyone, welcome back, and today we're going to talk BookStack again. If you missed my first video where I talked about the BookStack overview, go ahead and pause right now and go check that out and then come right back. But anyway, what we're going to do today is we're going to install BookStack on Ubuntu 24.04, and that's going to be a straight, simple process. The documentation on BookStack is pretty good, so we're just going to follow that. I'm going to show you how it's done. Let's do it. All right, here we are. Here is BookStack's documentation on Ubuntu. So installation. So I just went to documentation and then now I'm at installation. And so the first thing here, let's go ahead and look at the requirements real quick. So, it's PHP 8.2, MySQL, MariaDB, all that good stuff. So it's right here. It's pretty straightforward. But we're going to go ahead and scooch on down to this Ubuntu script. And it's really simple. Basically, we're going to run these three things, and it's going to do everything for you. So here I have an Ubuntu that I've already set up. It's just a fresh install. There's nothing special about it. And we're going to just run the commands. And then we will show you the web interface after that, and everything will be great. And then I am going to also increase its size a little bit so they get a little bit bigger text on this operation. So again, we're going to take this first part right here and copy it, paste it into our SSH session. So I have already logged in and sudoed into a root user, so I have all the permissions, and so you'll see that that installation script is there. Now, that first command was just wget, which just goes out and gets the script, downloads it to this directory. The next thing here is we're going to make it executable, and that's that. So now you see how it's green, and so you'll see that in the permissions you will get this X for executable. All right. Next, all we need to do is run it, and so I am already as root, so I don't actually need this sudo command. Now, here's what's going to ask you some questions. Is we will just make this our center case. I'll make this a little bit bigger so we can see it a little easier. And hopefully everybody can see that nice and pretty. So the first thing it's going to ask you here is, what is the domain that you want to use? So BookStack asks you for that. In this case, the IP address of this computer, this virtual machine, is 172.16.70.250. So I'm going to use that actually, but you could use your domain name that you've created, and that will make it accessible in the future. But for this point, just to get through the first part and to show this how it works, we're just going to use the IP address. Now it's installing it. Now, this will take a few minutes. All right, there we go. Now it's installed. So I'm going to go ahead and get my browser back here. And we're going to type in that IP address. And there we have it. There's BookStack. All right, so first of all, I want you to take note that it tells you what the default email address and password is. It's admin@admin.com and password. So you're going to type that in here first. All right. So there we have it. You're installed. You've got it up and running. And shelves, books, settings, it's all there. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you make your own user, or at least at minimum change this admin password, especially if you're going to expose it to anywhere. So your next step after this is going to be securing this and setting it up. So before you get it out there wild on the internet or anything like that, if you're planning on exposing it, make sure that you install SSL script, make sure you're locked down your web server and things like that. Okay, so that's all there is to installing this. Short, sweet, and to the point. Stay tuned next time where we will look at installing SSL and maybe adding a domain and all that good stuff.